You're watching Taste the Victory.
Welcome back, guys. Check out the new and improved deck profile layout. New year, new style for Taste the Victory, and I hope you guys enjoy it as we debuted it with a bang with one of the most hyped up decks in the format, quickly becoming fan favorite UlforceVeedramon. While incorporating cards from the old support, Ulforce mainly introduces a new win con of a mini loop combo with the Mega and its Tamer, Rina Shinomiya. Basically, UlforceVeedramon has a when digivolving effect to play a blue Tamer from your hand, and that unsuspends it. You then ideally play out a Rina, which will let you trigger its when digivolving effect to play another, ideally Rina Shinomiya, to unsuspend it again and keep this loop going up until you can attack for game. If you just need that one extra swing, you could always just hardcast a blue Tamer with enough memory as well. So it's a pretty cool, fun combo to build up to, but let's see how we are going to support that by starting at the bottom and working our way up. First up are our eggs. We are running the full 5 this time, starting mainly with the new Wanyamon introduced in Booster Set 11. This is basically the new best egg in blue. It is so generic for the color and so strong, a very easy to meet condition draw. You're just always going to be drawing if you have a blue Tamer on the field, so very powerful. It's probably going to become the new standard for blue eggs, but since we do want more consistency and more draws, we have one of the old Upamon. If your opponent has a Digimon with no Digivolution cards in play, trigger draw 1. Also a pretty easy condition to meet. However, Wanyamon is not dependent on the opponent's board state, so we're going to max that one out over Upamon. Now, let's move on to the rookies. We are running a total of 12 in this deck because we want to make room for the rest of the support, since we do have a lot of Tamers that we're going to need all of them for that loop combo. Let's start off with the new key one introduced here in Booster Set 11. This is Veemon for 3 memory. It only has 1000 DP. On play, reveal the top 3 cards of your deck, add 1 Digimon card with Veedramon in its name, and 1 blue Tamer card among them to your hand. Place the remaining cards at the bottom of your deck in any order. Your turn, once per turn, inheritable. When you play a blue Tamer, gain 1 memory. Veemon synergizes very well to gain us memory with the loop combo that UlforceVeedramon tries to do, and eventually you get enough memory between all your inheritables that you'll be able to play one last Tamer out for free once you have run out of Rina Shinomiyas for a game. The search is fantastic because you are very unlikely to miss it unless you reveal a bunch of Tamers or a couple of our hybrids that we're going to be running for game potentially. Then we have Veemon from X1. This is 3 memories of Hard Slam, free from a level 2, 2000 DP, and it just has the inheritable effect. Your turn, once per turn, when the Digimon becomes unsuspended during your main phase, gain 1 memory. And since unsuspending is one of the key components of UlforceVeedramon, it'll be really easy to trigger this one and get an extra memory in your turn to facilitate your combo more aggressively. Next up, surprise surprise, we got Veemon again, and this Veemon is from the starter deck. We are not going to be running him too much for his main effect, we mainly want him for his inheritable. When attacking inheritable, if you have 7 or fewer cards in your hand, trigger draw 1. This is great to be able to get early draw power quickly, because you want to see all your Tamers and basically a bunch of the pieces that this deck needs. Now, there is a consideration you could run the old Veemon from Booster Set 1.5. It has the inheritable, your turn, once per turn, when this Digimon becomes unsuspended during your main phase, trigger draw 1. So it is only once per turn once you unsuspend, but you can do that every turn. Once you are over set 8 cards in hand, you're basically never going to see this effect go live again on the starter deck Veemon. However, the ability to be able to do it faster in the beginning of the game is a little bit more valuable to me, even if you will fill up your hand kind of quick and you won't be able to trigger it as much. There is definitely value in running the other Veemon though, because you can keep doing it every turn even if it's only once per turn, as opposed to Veemon where you really have to spew out your whole hand to be able to get more draws, which you really won't do until you go for game doing your combo loop. So it is up to you. However, the ability to fall back on the warp is pretty nice. As I mentioned when I started talking about this card, we're not too concerned about its warp digivolution. You could potentially go into UlforceVeedramon straight from this card, but we mainly want it for its draw. This is, however, a good fallback in case we need to come back and need a desperation Ulforce. That covers the rookies, and then we are moving on to our champions. First up is the new Veedramon, 6 memory to Hard Slam, 2 to Digivolve from a level 3, 6000 DP, which is pretty beefy for a champion. And then we have your turn, once per turn. When you play a blue Tamer, draw 1, and then inheritable, once per turn. When you play a blue Tamer, gain 1 memory, exact same as the Veemon inheritable. Fantastic card because you get to draw to replenish the Tamer if you hard casted it, and then you also get the inheritable once you Digivolve over it, stacking it with the Veemon, getting you a bunch of memory to potentially play more Tamers out, or just climb with the second stack if that's what you need. So it's a very great card that offers you a lot of resources in one. Then we got Kumamon, simply a hybrid for game to Digivolve over a Tamers when they have no security left. Now, another key champion in this lineup, Leomon. So this is the Leomon package. 6 memory to Hard Slam, but 2 to Digivolve from a level 3, 4000 DP. Opponent's turn, while you have a Tamer in play, this Digimon gains blocker, on deletion gain 2 memory, and draw 1. So Leomon is the key that has taken Japan by storm to keep this deck competitive against the monster that is Blackboard Greymon X. Jeri, which we'll see later on in this profile, can play this out for free when it's played, either from your hand or from security, and then Jeri being on the field gives this Leomon blocker. So not only is it a blocker to help stop your opponent's War Greymon to go for game, Leomon is also huge into Black War Greymon X, which is predicted to be the best deck in this format because it will usually be the lowest play cost on the field, making them think twice about using their one deletion effect, because losing that 2 memory could be huge. This protects your UlforceVeedramon if you have both of these out on the field and deters the Black War Greymon X from using their secondary deletion effect. That covers the champions, so let's move on to the ultimates. We're getting closer to the spicier stuff now. First up is the new AeroVeedramon introduced in Booster Set 11, which is a key card of this deck. 8 memory to Hard Slam, 3 memory to Digivolve from a level 4 that is blue, and 8000 DP, which is pretty beefy for a level 5. Main, once per turn, by suspending this Digimon, reveal the top 3 cards of your deck, add all blue Tamer cards among them to your hand, and place the remaining at the bottom. That is amazing simply for the possibility they can grab everything revealed there if it's a blue Tamer. I've had a turn where this grabs all 3 of them and it is fantastic. So awesome potential high roll for a search there, and if not, hey, free search. When attacking, once per turn inheritable, activate one of your Shinomiya's on-play effects. Really valuable when we run out of them in hand, since of course we can only run 4 and who knows if you'll ever even see all 4 in an average duel. The fact that its effect unsuspends it also sets it up perfectly for UlforceVeedramon to come in and activate its effect for Rina, so really important card there. Then we have 4 of the other AeroVeedramon from the blue starter deck. 7 memory to Hard Slam, 7000 DP, 3 to Digivolve from level 4. It has jamming, which means it can't be deleted in battles with security Digimon, which it lets you be aggressive pretty early on. And then it has the inheritable, your turn, while you have 8 or more cards in your hand, this Digimon gains security attack +1. We have a lot of draw power and a lot of our Tamers have good search, so getting those 8 in hand is pretty simple, and that security attack +1 lets us be even more aggressive. We've gone over the general win condition of Ulforce, but let's not forget the other effect. It also has your turn, once per turn, when this Digimon becomes unsuspended, return one of your opponent's level 3 or lower Digimon to its owner's hand, increase the maximum level this effect can choose by 1 for each blue Tamer you have in play. With just 3 Tamers on the field, you are already bouncing a level 6, which is not too hard for this deck to meet considering you have a way to play them out for free. Ulforce is very awesome, and that bounce does let you get around deletion protection. Unfortunately, Black War Greymon has bounce protection specifically, but into other matchups it will definitely come in handy. It's a very powerful boss monster. And because we need to make room for our Tamers, it is the only Mega that we are running. Our options are only Blue Memory Boost. This is a 3-cost option that lets you search the top 4 of your deck, and then later you can delay it for 2 memory to help extend your plays. The card is really great for consistency, and it's the only room we have for an option. Finally, let's take a look at our Tamers. First up is Rina Shinomiya, the main girl. She is a secret rare introduced in this set, 3 memory to Hard Slam. On play, one of your Digimon with Veemon or Veedramon, its name gets Blocker and Evade until the end of your opponent's turn. Blocker is pretty self-explanatory, but Evade is a new keyword that was introduced in X3. It lets you avoid deletion by suspending it, so that is really useful considering how much UlforceVeedramon unsuspends and stuff. You have a free Evade usually off of that effect. It's really awesome to help your guy not die into security. Then there is the effect that facilitates the combo loop. All turns, when one of your Digimon with Veedramon in its name becomes suspended, by suspending this Tamer, activate one of that Digimon's when Digivolving effects, and you will usually activate the one to play a Tamer for free. Once per turn, when one of your blue Digimon unsuspends, gain 1 memory. Between that effect and all the inheritables on the Veemon line, you're going to gain a ton of memory once you get up to the top and start spamming out Tamers, which lets you play more for more unsuspends. It's awesome. Now we have the old Rina Shinomiya that was introduced in Booster Set 3. Your turn, when one of your blue Digimon attacks, you may suspend this Tamer to give that Digimon plus 1000 DP for the turn. On play, reveal the top 3 cards of your deck, add 1 Digimon card with V in its name among them to your hand, place the remaining cards at the bottom of your deck in any order. More consistency tools to make sure you can draw into your missing pieces, and the ability to give it plus 1000 is pretty important so you don't die into certain things in security. Then we got Davis. Davis is a 4-cost Tamer because he sets you to a guaranteed 3 memory at the beginning of your turn. He also reveals the top 3 cards of your deck, and you can grab a blue or green Digimon among them and add it to your hand. Another good consistency option that also gives us more memory to work with. Next we have the other half of the spicy tech, which is Jeri. Jeri is 4 costs and on play lets you play 1 Leomon from your hand without paying its memory cost, and you're typically going to be playing out the one that we saw earlier for the reasons stated before. Opponent's turn, when opponent's Digimon attacks, you may suspend this Tamer to draw 1. Jeri's great. Not only does it give you a Leomon which becomes a blocker and also deters deleting it, it also deters swings itself by giving you an extra draw, and if you have multiple out, that will stack, so it's huge if you had to pass turn and are missing a combo piece and your opponent decides to be aggressive. Jeri and Leo are an awesome combo to be able to stall time and get some extra draws. And finally, our last Tamer is going to be the Taichi V-Tamer. This one is 2 memory to play, Main, if you have a Digimon with Veedramon in its name, you may suspend this Tamer to activate one of the following effects. You get to choose either of these. Either you can trigger draw 1, or one of your Digimon gets plus 1000 DP for the turn. So that is pretty important because a lot of stuff in security will be at 13,000 now with the X antibodies that have been introduced. So if you have this guy and the old Rina out, or multiple of this guy, you can choose to get the plus 1000 DP and stack it to put this dude up to potentially 14,000 DP or more if you have multiple of them out. The trigger draw 1 is also a phenomenal effect because it only costs 2 memory to play this Tamer, so being able to get an early draw like that consistently is very valuable to your strategy. And that is Ulforce. You're typically going to be building a stack in your racing area and searching for pieces with your Tamers until you're ready to come out and start doing the combo with your Rinas in hand and your UlforceVeedramon digivolved over one of your AeroVeedramons. With Blackwork Greymon X's redirection and many blocks and its protection against bouncing, you do have a pretty uphill battle into it, but if you're fast enough, you're able to get around it, and you do have techs like Leomon to help you buy time and get around some of the removal until you can go for your combo. Other than that, I think UlforceVeedramon has a pretty great matchup into a lot of the other decks because it's kind of just doing its own thing and hoping to see its pieces, really more of a fight against itself than the opponent sometimes. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know what you think of the new style, anything I could do to improve, and let me know what you guys are running in your UlforceVeedramon decks instead. Thank you to Luke Loon on Twitter for making the 3D card graphics in this video possible. Check them out. I'll see you next time, and until then, remember to stay hungry until you get a taste of victory.